I sense your hesitation. Natasha was like, I'm the diversity hire on this show because she didn't think I was on this show. That's how white I am. And I get it. You hear the last name Zelazny, and you're like, I don't know what country that's supposed to be from. It's Polish. It's Polish for hard to pronounce last name. Yeah, I am Polish, Irish, Italian, and Mexican. That means I am all of Chicago, essentially, exactly. Except for all the parts they report about on the news. I'm sorry. No, I'm 1/4 Mexican, which according to this festival and all the scholarships I got in college counts. Yay! No, the reason why I look like this is because my mother is so white. How white is she? My mother is so white that when she had myself and my 2 siblings, her 3 children, she gave us all the same initials so she could, quote, get a good deal on monogramming. Of course, no one thought to tell her that you can save the most money on monogramming by not monogramming at all. And I know that I don't look very stereotypically Mexican, whatever that means. But, I know that means that my brother, for example, who is a little bit more than I am, he will only ever get arrested for possession of marijuana if he hasn't shaved his mustache that day. And me too, a little bit. But no, I grew up in Connecticut, which is a place that has far more monograms than they have Mexicans. And so growing up, I only ever heard about Mexico in the context of going there for spring break, right? It was always these girls I went to high school with who would say, Courtney, if you ever go to Mexico for spring break, because why else would you go? Be careful about drinking the water because of Montezuma's Revenge. Y'all know about Montezuma's Revenge? Yeah, exactly. I'm going to ruin it for those of you who are currently eating chicken wings, but Montezuma's Revenge is when they tell you to be careful about drinking the water at those resorts in Mexico because the bacteria could give you potential digestive issues, let's put it nicely. But it would always be from these girls who would then proceed to post pictures of themselves on Instagram double fisting frozen margaritas, as if that ice is not also made of water. Which of course begs the question, is it the water that's the problem? Or is it the fact that this is the first time you're eating seasoned food in your life, Karen? Because if we're being honest, there's really only one ice us Mexicans need to be concerned about. Not me, of course. Yeah, all right, so how many of y'all are from Chicago? Okay, great, that's awesome. So then y'all know that this is going to be the last weekend pretty much of Hispanic Heritage Month. It starts September 15th, Hispanic Heritage Month. And I love being Mexican except for Hispanic Heritage Month. Something about not being able to get back to my apartment in downtown Chicago. Last year, I went to a comedy show, I was on a show, and I ended up spending 2.5 hours in an Uber just trying to get back to my apartment downtown. Eventually, the cops had blocked off all of the ramps into downtown, and I get out of my Uber and I walk straight up to a cop with the authority that only a white woman could have. And I say, I can see my apartment from here. I'm gonna walk there. Please don't let any cars hit me. And he said, well, I'll be the first one coming down this ramp when we lift the barricades. And I said, okay, so please don't hit me. I just want to go back to where I came from. It's also a border joke. I don't know if it lands with me. It's okay. I get it. I get that not everyone believes that I'm Mexican. I wouldn't either. But the thing about Hispanic Heritage Month is that it also overlaps with Bi Visibility Week. And no one believes that I'm that either. I would be at the apex of my power if anyone believed that I was one of those things, let alone both. But it did get me thinking that, it would be awesome if one time I could get together with all the bisexual Latinas in Chicago to do that, car caravan all around downtown Chicago. We would drive up and down Lakeshore Drive just blasting sweater weather. But we'd have to find the one bisexual Latina who can drive. Talk about a unicorn, am I right? Any of y'all have siblings? Okay. Ma'am, do you think you're your parents' favorite child? What makes you think you're the eldest? So that's why you think you're the youngest. See, that makes total sense. I'm the oldest, so I should have known immediately I wasn't my parents' favorite child. If I was their parents' favorite child, they would have stopped trying after me. But there are plenty of reasons on paper why I should have been my parents' favorite child. I'll just name a few for you. I went to a 4-year undergraduate university, so now I have a job with a salary and a 401k. Unlike my younger brother, who works in commercial real estate sales. So if he doesn't sell an office park, then he doesn't make any money. And so he doesn't make any money. And some of the brown people in the audience might relate to this, I am the only child of my parents who lives in Chicago. My parents live in Chicago, so I see them multiple times a week, family dinner, that sort of stuff. Parents love that. My siblings, they live in like Atlanta, Philadelphia. But so I thought for the longest time I was my parents' favorite child. And my dad, he does this thing where he says, what do you get for the man who has everything? And so for his birthday every year, he gives us gifts. Very nice, right? And so for his birthday last year, he gave my younger brother a check for $1,000 to help him pay his rent, right? And he gave me for that same birthday a pen. A really nice pen. It's like a bougie Mont Blanc pen. But that tells me that my dad, God rest his soul when he's old and past, anticipates that I'll use that pen to write $1,000 checks for my younger brother. And I don't know what's worse, the fact that at 26 years old, I have lost that pen. Or I don't know how to write a check. My name is Courtney Zelazny. Thank you so much.